Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. Tonight we're going to be playing with a couple of new products that just hit my craft room. They're not new by any means, but they're new to me. So the first one is this really cute stamp set from the Greeting Farm. It's called Cheeky Aloha. Thought I would do some Copic coloring with this, and both of these images are adorable. I think I want to do this one because I really want to do the wavy hair and the flowers and all that in her hair, and I love the guitar or ukulele or whatever. I thought that'd be really fun. And then I'm also going to be using the Island Greetings, I guess it's like a bundle. There's a bunch of products in it from Hutson. I think it's been out for a little while, or I'm not even sure how long ago it came out, but it has a stencil set with these like Monstera leaves. And then there's a layered orchid. I'm not going to do that one today. There's Mahalo and then Aloha. So I thought I would do something with the, not the orchid or the Mahalo, but I thought I would do Aloha with the leaf background. Like this would be the greeting for the stamp. This is the background. And then I'd have her on top. So that is the plan for tonight. Let me grab my Copics and we can get going. My Copic markers are on the other side of my island here in my craft room. It's only fitting that it's Island Greetings for that bundle because I have to go across and get my Copic markers. They're on a cart. That's the rolling sound you're hearing. So, okay. Alrighty here. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's do the coloring. I think that'll be really fun. And I just realized there's little music notes in the stamp set too. That's so cute. Maybe I'll have to do some music notes or something on it too. Okay. Do a little bit of stamping. Hello, everyone over in the chat. Yes, getting ready for the Maui trip. That is very true. Maui's in about a month. Okay, I'm going to be using some Solar White cardstock. This is Neenah, and it's my favorite for Copic coloring. And we'll just put her right in the middle. I'm going to end up fussy cutting her out, but in the meantime, I can just put it right in the center. I'm using Intense Black stamping ink from Simon Says Stamp. And I will likely have to stamp her a couple of times, so I'm really going to make sure that this paper is in the corner of my MISTI so I can stamp multiple times. Okay. Oh yeah, it's pretty faded there in the middle. I need to use my re-inker. I believe Simon does have a re-inker for their Intense Black. But also, I kind of like sometimes when the ink pads are a little bit dry, because then you don't run the risk of it the lines going all squished out. You almost get a sharper image, I think. So I'm going to just stamp this 3 times. Because I am stamping it multiple times, I think I'm going to heat set this just to make sure it's completely dry. Yeah, that's nice and dark black. It's perfect stamping. But I will have to heat set it just because I'm afraid of, even though my ink pad is dry, I did stamp it 3 times. So I want to make sure that it's not going to smear or smudge or bleed once I start coloring it. I just saw the shape of the stamp, and it's got these little, it's the foliage on her crown, her wreath crown thing that she's wearing, and for a minute there I thought they were like little elf ears. Too cute. Okay. I'm almost considering giving her like sassy bright red hair or something like that, but I don't think I will. I think I'll make her look Hawaiian. I think that would be amazing. So let's see here. Let's heat set this really, really quick. I'm heating the back as well because that kind of counteracts warping. Okay. All right, so I need like a really good skin and hair combo. But I want to get like a reference photo because, you know, admittedly it is not a skin and hair tone that I color often. So I want to kind of look up a little reference. Like, let's see here. Images. This is like a stock photo of this really beautiful woman in Hawaii. So I'm just going to use that as a reference photo. There's kind of like this golden brown skin that's just beautiful. And I want to make sure I capture that. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to do a little test over here on the side. I basically want kind of like a light, medium, and a dark. Yeah, Lila or Moana. Yeah, either one would really work. She does have feet. She just doesn't have toes that are distinctive. I think that could work. And then maybe, I don't know, I'm just kind of, I think it's a little too cool. I want warmer. I think that could be really pretty. Like these two, what are those? E13, E39. Wait, I didn't label these. Okay, yeah, this is not the one I want. Those two, and I want something in between. Yeah, I think that could be really pretty. Okay, so I think the colors I'm going with are E13, E15, and E39. She doesn't have a nose, fingers, or toes. Put it that way. Okay, so I'm going to start with, actually I think I'm going to start with the darkest, no, I'm going to start with the lightest color. And I also need to have kind of like a rosy pink color in mind. I like to do like R20, R21, R22, but those are very like corally. I think that could still work. I'll do R22. Okay. Here we go. Get these colors going. I could also zoom in even a little bit more. Okay, so this is the lightest shade. Oh, you know, I feel like I want to add an even lighter color because I really want to preserve some highlights. So I'm going to come in with this one first. And then I'll start adding the deeper shades. Oh no, her eye is bleeding right there. That sounds violent. What I mean is it's the ink is smudging, so I'm going to dry it for a little bit longer. It might not be that big of a deal if I'm just really careful going around the really ink heavy areas. We'll see. The thing that I love about alcohol markers is that even though it looks like, you know, all my coloring strokes are overlapping and not looking very good, you know, you just let it dry a little bit and then it looks great. And you know what, since I'm coloring, I'm gonna pull up my video on my phone and then I can see the comments. Why not, right? To turn the volume down though, because I feel like I miss all the comments because I'm looking down coloring. So I'm just gonna have my phone off to the side here so I can see them. Then I can see all the comments. Karen says, I thought that was just me. It happens to me all the time. You're talking about like the stamped face starts to bleed. Yeah, that happens to me quite a bit too. All right, so I'm going to go with the next darkest color. So I've got the E13. I'm just going to add that around where it would be the darkest. In fact, I'm kind of considering going to the darkest shade off the bat. I think I will, because I think this could, I could overload the paper really quick. All right, just getting these darkest areas. Okay. Oh, Molly has a great idea. She says, I need one of those things that reads the comments into your ear. Right? All right, this is the next, like, lightest color. This is the E15. I feel like I could almost like skip this one. But I'll do it. My paper got a little warped when I was drying it, and so I feel like it's like kind of, it's like bopping up and down whenever I color. Have you all seen Moana 2 yet? I haven't watched it yet. It's on Disney Plus. I have no excuse now. All right, I'm going to come in here and add this darker shade like up to the brows. Probably shouldn't have colored all that area right there because that would be her eye, but that's okay. I'm coming in with the lightest shade and I'm just sort of blending them all together, going over everything. Just trying to get a nice blend. And then I'll come in and I'll put white on that eye in a minute here. All right, I'm going to come back and grab a little bit of a darker color. I feel like there's like this weird spot right here that like won't take color. It's weird. I'm also going to try to blend this out a little bit. And then I'll go to the lighter shade again. You know what? That's where I'm probably going to be adding her blush anyway, so I don't know that it'll matter. All right, speaking of the little blush, Actually, I feel like I need to dry that first. Let's dry it. Just because there's a lot of ink happening right now. Oh, she's so beautiful. I love her flowing hair. All right, I'm just going to add like what would be blush right there. Kind of got a little out of control right here, but that's okay. I'm coming in with that lightest shade. Okay. Now let's figure out hair color. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to my reference photo. Okay. It's like very dark, but then there's also some golden tones. Kind of looks like maybe she has colored her hair a little bit in this photo, or it could be the lighting. I'm not really sure. But let's figure out some different tones to work with here. I think, okay, let's see here. Like I said, I am going to be cutting out this image, so the fact that I've got a bunch of color swatches off to the side isn't a big deal. Okay, I feel like I probably need a color in between that. And maybe even like a warmer tone. All right, I'm going to put E27 back, and maybe I'll try E57, which is a little bit warmer. Yeah, I like that. And then we could go, I think I'll try a warmer, darkest shade as well. Yeah, there we go. So those are the colors for the hair. And I'm going to do the hair like I've always done it in the past, which is I'm going to start with the lightest color. Yeah, there's like red highlights, like really warm tones. I think these three will be good. All right, so I'm going to be taking each strand of hair and coloring it individually. And basically what I do is I take little flicks, and you want the flicks to travel the same way as the same bend as the hair. So this little S curve right here, you're starting at the bottom, and then you're coming back to the other end and getting the little flick going that direction. And you do that for each little segment of hair. And you want the flicking motion to go in the same direction as the hair. I've got a fuzz or something on the edge of my marker. What is happening? Okay. But you also have to take into consideration that the back kind of wall of the hair will be the darkest. You want to preserve some white areas. That's what's going to help it look really glossy and like really healthy hair. So up here, it looks like she has like a center part and coming down from each side. So the way I do the center parts is I'll just, follow that same kind of go in the direction of the hair. There's a little bit of a highlight right there. And then coming down the other side as well. I think when it comes to coloring hair, you have to take into consideration you're building it up, but section by section. And it also really helps if you practice that flicking motion so that you can And also practice like little directional flicking, like what I'm doing, so that you can get different bends and things like that. Okay, so here's something that's a little different. It looks like there's like a kind of a curl to her hair. So at the top of that bend, that's where the highlight would be, and then down at the bottom there wouldn't be. So I'm gonna go like this. And so that gives it a little bit of a bend there. Oh, I need to go back to the comments. Oh, Gina, looks just like you playing your uke in Hawaii, huh? Same thing right here. I think there'd be a little bit of a highlight right in there. Okay, so now the hair is really going to start taking shape when we start to bring in the other shades. So I'm going to the middle shade. So I'm using E57. And I don't want these flicks to come in quite as far. Oh my word, is this marker dry? It totally is. Okay, I'll try to make it work. I want it to like follow the same path as the previous color, but I don't want it to overtake that previous color. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're starting to get a little bit of a hair is taking shape on that side. Hello, Sean. Welcome to your first live. Maybe. Said you finally caught one. Okay, we'll come up here and do the top of her head. And I really think it starts to really take shape and look better once you have the darkest shade on, and then you go backwards the other way. Once again, I'm just trying to follow the bend of the hair. I think it would actually be a little more dark right behind the ukulele right there. So I'm just bringing that down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the darkest shade. So E59. And I really want to make sure I get this darkest shade like in the crevices, like in the corners. Oh my word, is this marker all dry too? It is kind of dry. Sounds like I need to have a spa day for all my Copic markers and like test them and use re-inkers. Can you see there's like a gloss to that? The ink is going down almost sticky. Okay. I love coloring images from the Greening Farm for this exact reason. They always have really good hair, you know? Okay. So we've done the darkest shade. I can put that cap back on. So now we're going to go back the other direction. We're going back to the mid-tone color. And we'll just sort of start to get this blended together a little bit better. Like I said, you do want to preserve some white areas, but if there's too much white, you can start to kind of close that gap right now. Okay. So now I'm going to go to that lightest shade. And I don't need to add much. I'm just trying to add a little bit in some areas. Just so overall it looks a little bit more cohesive. Hello, everyone who's just hopping in now. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I can tell there's just a little too much white right in this little spot, so I'm gonna kind of darken that up a little bit, and then also right there, right on the edge. Okay. Not my best hair coloring, but this was a little bit of a difficult one. There were a lot of different like hair strands, like going all sorts of different directions. Oh, and I also forgot to color the little gap right here in the crook of her arm. There we go. Okay. Also, I feel like I need to color this little spot. I think that would be her tummy. Okay. All right. So let's figure out beautiful greens that we're going to have on here. Her skirt and also the leaves on her. Is it just a crown? Is that what it is? I'm not entirely sure what that like headpiece is called. Okay, let's see here. I'm getting out my hex chart to pick out some colors. This is from Sandy Alnock. If you need a hex chart for your Copics, she's your gal. I'm thinking, well, let's go back to that reference photo just for some nice bright greens. Okay, I'm thinking like, well, YG17, obviously. YG17, I think we could do YG03. And then, oh, we need a little bit of a deeper green. YG67. Okay, I'm thinking these three. Oh, Judy's in here somewhere. Hello, Judith, Judy or Judith. I don't know what to call you, Judith or Judy. Your username here says Judith, but I want to say on your mail call slips, you always say Judy. So I don't know. Hakule? Is that what it is? I need to learn all these things before I go back to Maui. Okay, just because these are such small little areas, I'm going to start with the darkest green first. And I'm just getting the leaves. Awesome. Okay, I think that one's also a leaf right there. I'll go to my mid-tone color, and I'm just going to extend that out a little bit, and also color over the darkest part. And then coming in with the lightest green, I'll just extend that out. Andrea is asking if I've received her card yet. You know, I haven't checked my mailbox. I'm going to have to go check it in the next few days because mail call is going to be coming up next week. But there was one person who oh, I can't remember their name. Hold on. They sent a big, huge box at like the first of the year, and they were concerned about it not coming in time. Okay, who was this? But it finally arrived. International Standard, big huge box. Sam? Someone in the UK, I think. Sam Mitchell, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if that label that's on the box is a new one or if they repurposed the box, you know? I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's someone who was in the chat during mail call, and they were really sad because their cards hadn't arrived yet. I think it's theirs. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just get her grass skirt. And I'll do the shaded areas. Go back to that lightest shade and just really blend it out. When is mail call? It will be a week from tomorrow, on Tuesday the 8th. Actually, it might even be next Monday. Yeah, it might be next Monday night at my usual time. Okay, what color should her top be? I kind of feel like it should be red. It's gonna be red. And I'll just do like really simple just because it's a very small area. Oh no, I'm getting the hiccups. I feel like her lips need to be red too, but they're already like stamped in. Oh yeah, hot pink would have looked really cute too. You know what? I wonder if I could take away some of this color around her eye here. Oh yeah, that did help quite a bit. I'm gonna do the thing where I hit it with my heat tool. And then I can get more of that white to show up. It's amazing how that worked. I'm using my regular colorless blender from Copic is completely dry, so I'm using one from Olo. Okay. I kind of like the idea of the white flowers in her hair, but let's see here. I'm going to go look at that reference photo. Yellow looks like it's a pretty common color. Maybe I'll do yellow. So maybe like a, let's see here. I'm going to have to look at my little chart here again. Y18 and Y06. Okay, so I'll just do like the darkest yellow, like right at the edges of the petals, or like the innermost areas, and then I'll use the light. You know what? I could alternate the colors. I'm going to alternate the colors because I can tell they're different flowers. Yeah, I'm going to keep the tips of the flowers white. Maybe that's where we can have purple flowers or pink. What should the other color be? Let me know in the chat. Rebecca's saying yellow, orange, and pink. Ooh, orange would be really pretty. I like the idea of orange. Oh, and Leanne's saying yellow with light pink centers. That would be really pretty. Madge is asking about the hex chart. You have to color it yourself. It's a PDF download that you can purchase. I think light purple would be really pretty, or orange. Yeah. What am I thinking here? Okay. I'm thinking the background with like the leaves and stuff will probably be shades of green. So I think like a purple would be really pretty. Or like a pink to purple. We could do a pink to purple. RV04 to RV13. Okay, I'm going to go with the darkest shade once again, which is so bright. What is happening? right, and then I'll take the, I think this is the lighter shade. It doesn't look that much lighter. I think I better go with the one that's even lighter than that. Oh, those colors do not mix. We'll just go for the color that's right next to it. That's better. Yeah, I like it pink. It's cute. Hey, Betsy. Okay. Now we've got our uke that we have to, I guess it could also be guitar. I'm assuming probably a ukulele. I don't know. We will make it a nice brown shade, but I want it to be different from the colors that I've used on her hair and skin. Okay, let's look back at our reference photo again. I'm going to look up Hawaiian woman ukulele and see, oh, they're all sorts of different colors. I think the most common is kind of like a tan brown, like this tan right here with like a little bit of a darker edging. So let's maybe do, and maybe a little bit more yellow too. So YR23, that might be a little too yellow. No, I think that's going to be great. Okay, and then we'd have that color up here at the top, but it would be a darker color on the neck. So like, maybe like E35. If it has 4 strings, it's a ukulele. Well, it surely does. That's great. Okay, and I'm also gonna like bring this color around the outer edge and give it a little shading where her hand is. And then I'll go back to the yellow shade and we'll just blend that in a little bit. Looks great. Okay. I think it's just about time to cut her out. You know what's interesting is that, do you guys see there's some gloss on her where the darkest shades were? That's where it can get almost a little sticky. No, I think we're good. It is dry. Sometimes if you have too much ink down, it can start to get a little sticky. You notice it's just in those darkest areas, and it's because I built up the color so much. Okay, let me get these colors back in my storage cart here before I move on too far. 57, 59. E39, E11, 13, 15, and R22. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to rough cut that away so I can stop looking at it. And then fussy cut this out. Thankfully, there aren't any too difficult spots. When I was deciding what I wanted to create tonight, I was like, okay, if I'm fussy cutting this out, is it going to cause me fits? You know? I missed one yellow. Oh, you're right. I totally missed one yellow, didn't I? Good thing I remember what colors I did. There we go. Easy fix. I feel like I need to have some, like, you know, really soothing Hawaiian music playing in the background. I think I'll have this be a card that I take to Maui with me, and I'll leave it with the, like, we're renting a house. I'm going to skip that area right there. I'll come back and cut it in a minute. I'll just leave it as a thank you. Oh, I need to have the chat pulled back up on my phone. Come back, live chat. Oh, hey, Shy. It is totally Greeting Farm. You'll have to rewind to see all the hair and the skin and all that. She is Shy. I did a bunch of, like, kind of color testing, trying to pick out the right colors. Oh, let's see. Mahalo. Is mahalo thank you? I was thinking aloha, like, hello, like we're meeting you. But I guess if it's a thank you card, maybe mahalo would be more appropriate. All right, I will change my plan and I will do mahalo instead. I'm glad that bundle had both words. I guess there really are a couple little tricky spots here. I'll come back and cut that out in a minute. Oh, Shy's thinking Greeting Farm's going to come out with a big, huge kit. You know, they always are, because they do it when I'm trying to not spend money. All right, got a little bit of the edge right there. I'll get that with my black marker when I kind of paint the edges. It'll be a little easier. You know what? I considered, instead of fussy cutting this, I considered leaving a white little margin around the outside. Probably would have been a smart move, but that's okay. Have we seen Sika in the chat? She texted me earlier and asked me, do you have a live tonight? I don't know that I've seen her yet. Oh, Sika says, I'm lurking. Okay. Sorry to call you out. Okay. I got all the tricky spots, except for that one little spot, but I'm going to grab a marker. I've been really loving to use the, okay, wait a minute. It's the Altenew, like, brush tip marker. And I struggled finding it last time too. Where did it go? Altenew. I could find their fine liners, but where's the brush tip one? And I remember thinking, put this somewhere safe so you don't lose it. And then what did I do? I forgot where I put it. Okay. All right, I guess I'll use this other. I like to use a brush tip marker, and you don't want to use your Copic because it could possibly bleed into the lines. You want to use something else. You could use a Copic multi-liner, but you don't want to use like a black Copic. Where would I have put that marker if I wanted it to keep it safe? Oh, ha! Found it. I'm like, oh, I'd probably put it right there. And then I look there and there it is. Okay, so you notice there's like this white edge. I'm basically just taking my black brush tip marker and just getting rid of that black or the white edge and giving it a black edge. And then it kind of hides a multitude of sins from cutting. It really makes it look like you've cut it out perfectly when really, you know, I fudged a lot. But I'm coming at it from the back and I have it angled so that I'm hopefully not going to color over anything I don't mean to. And then this area that's right here, I'm actually just going to put my little brush tip marker right in that little spot. I can also kind of very carefully go around that edge. Okay, I think that's the only really tricky spot I need to worry about. Some people, if they find themselves leaving little black marks all over their coloring, they might choose to turn it over like this and just color around the outside edge. That works well too. But I like to see the white edge and make sure I've got all of it. So I kind of just have it at an angle so I can see. I'm not sure who I learned this trick from. Just trying to get that little area right there. But I've been doing it for ages, for years, and it's time consuming. It's one of those extra steps that, you know, sometimes I don't want to do, but I also love to do it because it really just makes everything look so finished. All right, I'm just getting these last little pieces here. Okay, so not bad. And then it just kind of disguises any edges that weren't cut out perfectly. Okay, we've been coloring her for an hour. So now it's time to do a background really quick. And some of you who came in late might not have realized that, okay, where'd my other products go? I'm actually going to be using a bundle from Hutson. There's this Monstero, there's two different stencils, and then we've got Aloha, Mahalo, and then there's a layered orchid. I'm not going to be using the orchid today, although it would be gorgeous, but I'm going to be doing Mahalo and the leaves. I'm going to get out a card front. So I'm thinking she can just be right there, and then I'll have the Mahalo right below her. I love that she's winking. She's like, hey. Okay, I can't get these dies out. Okay, there we go. So then the Mahalo can go like right down here. And I'll just have it like right at her feet. And then we'll have the leaves coming out on the outer edge. That's kind of my plan. Hold on 1 minute. I'm getting a text message I feel like I need to reply to really quick. Sorry, I apologize for this. Okay. All right, so here are the stencils. Ooh, the word would be really cool in an ombre. I might have to consider that. I was kind of thinking gold, but an ombre would be kind of cool too. Okay, these stencils are so pretty. I think I want to do this one because it would have more color. But I am going to have to use Pixie Spray because look at those little tiny itty bitty little spots. Okay, where's my Pixie Spray? It's hiding. Might have to do the other one if I can't find my Pixie Spray. Oh, it's not where it usually is. It's been a while since I used Pixie Spray. Oh dear. Okay, well, I guess we're doing the other one. We'll do the other stencil that won't require, oh, just kidding. Just found it. Okay. Pixie Spray it is. I had to find it. It was hiding. I probably set it down the last time I used it and it just never made its way back. However, oh, there it is. I was wondering where my box is. Okay, y'all, the weather is just nice enough that I could go outside to spray this stencil. So let's get the paper. Okay, we're going to do this one. We're just going to do it on the white. Okay. So what I'm doing, I have my box here. Ta-da. And it keeps wanting to close, so I'm going to have to grab more tape to keep it open. But I think I'm going to run downstairs and step out onto my front porch so that I can spray this outside. All spray adhesives should be used in the great outdoors to dissipate anything that's in the air. You don't want to breathe any of that in. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to run downstairs. I don't know if my mic's going to carry that far, so I might go silent for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this up really well. Pixie Spray is, like it says, light tack, repositionable adhesive for stencils. So all these little bits that want to like move around, it will hold to the cardstock and I won't have to worry about it, right? So I'm going to shake this up really well. I'm going to spray this probably, maybe like go over the whole thing 3 times. Like I'll go 1, 2, 3. that about timing as well. And then I'll come back upstairs and we will resume. So I have no idea if you're going to be able to hear me doing this downstairs, but I'm just going to talk at you as if you can. So my box is wanting to like move around. Because I have a story why I'm going to go outside for this adhesive. It is a tale of caution. Oh, kitties are in the window down here, closing their gate. All right, we're going outside. I don't know if you can still hear me, but if you can, it's starting to rain out here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and I think my Pixie Spray has died. I don't think I have much more. Okay. No cats are escaping. No cats escaped while I went out on the front porch to spray my adhesive. If I can close their gate again. There we go. Okay. So I have no idea if my mic continued to work or not. I hope it did. But in case my mic, the sound works great. Okay, I don't know if my Pixie Spray is like on its last leg. I don't think it really did much. Okay, I know I just went downstairs outside for this. I'm just gonna come to a different section of my craft room. And I'm really gonna try to spray it more because there's hardly anything on it. Yeah, it's like I think my Pixie Spray is dead. Like I can't even feel it moving around inside the can. So we'll try it. Might not work. It does have to dry for just a minute or two anyway. So while that dries, I'll pick out my colors. So I want it to kind of match the greens on her little, whatever it is, the haku lei, I think that's what it's called, and her skirt. So I'm thinking like parsley, maybe a little bit of evergreen. I'm using C9 colors. I could also use Simon's stamp colors. Those would be really pretty too. But I also think bringing in kind of like a bluish green would be really pretty too. Like, so maybe instead of evergreen, I'll do juniper. No, peacock. Yeah, there we go. And I'll add some lemongrass. Yeah, okay. Okay. These are the, oh, there we go. These are the colors that I picked. Lemongrass, parsley, peacock. Okay. So let's, ooh, I love their I love the packaging for Ellen Hutson. There's like a little magnetic sheet. That's nice. I just appreciate stuff like that. Okay. Move her to the side. And I'm going to grab, ooh, the paper pouncers. That is true. That is a really good point. Other than I really want a really soft blend, and I don't really be able to do that with paper pouncers. Whoa. Focus. Focus. Okay. Put that right, oh. Okay, so this is the front of our card. that is not the stencil. This is the stencil. You know what? It is sticky. I think we'll be good. Okay, so I'm just going to get this kind of centered. Like it almost wants to pick up the cardstock, so I think we're going to be good. Yeah, like, you see that? It moves everything all together. I think we're going to be good. I just have to press this down really well. Ooh, that part doesn't want to stay. You know what? Or we embrace the paper pouncer idea, or very gentle brushes. Let's try it. My poor camera, Andrea. Yeah, I have the settings so that it focuses really fast, but because it focuses really fast, I get some blurring when it doesn't know what it's doing. Okay, is that really going to move? I don't think it will. I think as long as I'm gentle with it, I don't think it'll move. All right, I'm going to use these really big fluffy brushes from Pinkfresh, because I want like really soft color, especially coming into the center. Like really soft. I love lemongrass because it's kind of like this yellowy green. It's a very unusual color. I want the area directly behind her to be a little bit more on the light side. So I'm going to keep it just like that. Now I'm going to come in with Parsley. I love how Leanne, I pick out the brush before she even has a chance. She's like, oh, yep, that's the one I was suggesting. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with Parsley. And like maybe only in a couple spots. And then I can come in with Peacock in those other spots. But I also kind of feel like I can really build up the green right on those edges. I feel like I need to tape down my stencil here so things don't keep moving. There we go. Because then I can really come in and I don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. And then I'm going to switch to Peacock. Switch my blending brushes, or brush. Okay. And I'm just going to try to get some of this like bluish shade in here. Okay, I feel like I need a little bit of blue right here as well. Maybe just a little hint coming in right there. Okay, and then I might go back over it depending on how much contrast I've got going, because I might have too much contrast. Ooh, that's gorgeous. It's a very delicate stencil. I love that. That turned out even better than I'd hoped. It makes me want to put her off to the side. But also right there would be good too. Okay, but I do think I want to do a little bit of the color coming in on the edges as well. Just to really emphasize that color. So wherever I use each shade, I'm going to come back in. It's mostly these 3 spots with the Peacock. And then with the Parsley. Let's bring that green in. You know what I kind of feel like it needs? If it was, and we were debating like gold on the card. It needs like a thin gold frame. I'm thinking like a really thin gold frame. I love how that looks already. I'm also debating if maybe I want to have it be horizontal. No, it's still going to be right there. I just feel like she covers up so much of that beautiful background. I guess I could have it be like that. I really like the light spot right here. It looks very intentional. Okay, if I was to do a little gold frame that was like inset, let's see here. The one that I have cut is not for an A2 card, but can you imagine? Ooh, I like that. I could even cut that down and just bring it down. But I kind of want her overlapping it. Okay. Let's use my thin frames dies. And we'll do the A2. Let's see how much it would be the inner area. So she could go right there. And then we'll do the mahalo. Oh, that could be really nice. Let's do that. And we'll have the mahalo be gold as well. Hold on, this stencil needs to move. Okay. All right, and just because, okay, will that fit? You guys are getting a sneak peek for what's coming up in April. Oh, that'll totally work. Okay. And then I can cut the mahalo at the same time. And I'm gonna switch my plates so that it doesn't get any weird marks on it. Okay. Get this little tiny frame out. Oh, it's gonna be so good. So that was my A2 thin frames die set. I didn't anticipate using it today, so it's not linked. In fact, a lot of the stuff, I only have the the basics linked for tonight. I think I want this on Vellum. It's like the shadow layer. All right, I'm going to grab some Vellum. And the Vellum I have is like super, super thick. I bought like a lot of it many, many, many years ago. So I'll just link to some other Vellum that's not the same, but it's a Whirlwind Papers if you want to get the same. Okay. I'll just cut that out. It'll make it a little easier to adhere. What do I mean when I said burn marks? When did I say burn marks? Oh, weird marks. Yeah, weird marks. Oh, well, here's another sneak peek for April. Sorry, you're getting all the gold things. The metallic finish on the gold cardstock, if you put it through your die cutting machine and you have like a plate to the gold and there's a lot of like marks all over it, sometimes it will leave behind marks on the gold itself. Okay. This will make it easier to adhere that. Obviously, I did lots of card making for my April release this weekend. 16 cards worth. It was a busy weekend. Okay. So let's put all of this together. And I need to grab okay. You know, I probably should have put adhesive on this. That's okay. Okay, where'd my tweezers go? Actually, put them away. What? Who is this? Oh no, it's smudged. Go back. Didn't smudge. I mean like it started to move. I feel like I should. Okay, we're gonna use one of these sticky grip mats. And I'll just hold that in place long enough that I can adhere everything. That'll be perfect. Oh yeah, so much easier to do it this way. Because then it holds it down so that it can actually adhere things. Don't know why, but things aren't wanting to stick. I think maybe it's the gold die cut letters have a little bit of a lip on them. Oh my word, that's crooked. That's gonna bug me. Oh well. hold that down for a moment. Scrappy Cat's asking, do you store all of your mirrored cardstock like you store the gold? Yes, they're all in those little sleeves. But they're by individual color. Because I've got, you know, like a bunch of other specialty cardstocks. Oh, yay. Thank you, Joy. Oh, that's crooked. Go back. Oh well. I guess it'll just be crooked. And then we have our lovely little O. Hold that down for a moment. Amanda, that's true. It does look like she's like swinging. That would be kind of be cute. What if it was... Oh, that's kind of cute. It does look like she's like sitting on it as a swing. I could totally adhere it like that. Hold on. Once I get this up from this grip mat, we'll play with placement and see if that is something to explore. Okay. I'm like trying to figure out how exactly would I do this. I almost want to like have it at that angle. Ooh, do I want it like that? Okay, there's that. Or we go a little bit more like this. And we have her right there. And then we'll put the mahalo down here at the bottom. Okay. Do we like the swing idea? Or do we like, I don't know what to call this one. Option 1 is the swing. Option 2 is this one. Let me see if I can set up a vote really fast. Hold on. I'm going to set it up so you can vote. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, hold on. Don't put your comments in. I'm gonna have it be a vote. Start a poll. Okay, here we go. Swing or option 2. I don't know what to call it. Okay, now you can vote. I guess I could have just done angled or straight. That would have been a good one. Okay, people are loving the swing idea. It's kind of winning by a landslide, so I think we're good. We're doing the swing. Okay, so I need to figure out how I'm going to be adhering this, because this is going to be like this. And then that will be like right below. So is that the spacing we want, or do we want it up a little higher? I think about like that would work. Okay. Well, first of all, let's just go ahead and adhere her. we need to adhere the back of her, and then the frame goes on the front. So just a little bit of glue there. And then, wait, yeah, that is the right spot. Okay. So then she would be like right here. Okay. And then I can come in here. Well, that won't really matter. I'm just going to put glue all around. Then I can glue her down as well. Okay. And then it's going at an angle about like this. Okay. Oh, an action wobbler would let her do the hula as she plays. That would have been really cute. I couldn't have had the swing going over the front of her though, if I did that. Okay, and then we'll have this down here at the bottom, but I'm almost thinking I want to pop that up. Is that crazy? Also, where did the lid to my glue go? This could be a problem. I swear I just saw it. The lid is on the glue. You guys, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. You guys are probably in the chat going, it's on the glue. Christina, what are you doing? It's on the glue. Okay, I think I'm going to take the time to, well, I'm going to cut off the top of that, but I'm also going to put, you know what, maybe I just want to stack up the letters. That might be easier than trying to put foam. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's just stack the letters and we can put it behind it. Okay. Yeah, you got, the lid is on. Christina, you're going insane. All right, I'm grabbing some cardstock. I'm going to grab some thick cardstock so I don't have to cut as many. There's actually should be a 5x7 card base, but I'm going to cut a bunch of these instead. I think 3 ought to do it. Blame it on healing the Pixie Spray. You know what? I don't know why, like ever since I've had my Anna Griffin Empress, I have always used the metal shim. And when I was making all of those cards this weekend, I took the metal shim out and I haven't put it back in. And I haven't missed it. So I'm like, huh, did I really need it all these years? Maybe not. I mean, I think it's good to have in case you need to cut something really intricate, but maybe I just haven't cut anything super intricate and I haven't needed it. All right, one more, and I think that'll do it. Did I do that wrong? Oh no, that's right, okay. It threw me off having it the other direction. was really close to the edge. All right, and then we're gonna do the same stacking trick that I showed y'all last week, which totally helps me not go crazy when I've got 5 million die cuts to stack. Zoom in here, camera. There we go. We're gonna get them assembly line style. You know, I also could have just, I never think about it till after the fact, but I totally could have just cut these out of foam. Just once. Oh, Christina. Just trying to make things more difficult for myself, that's all. You guys never do that, do you? And look at that, I didn't lose any letters. What? That is another moment of, who is she? Who is this person? Generally, if I'm cutting out a lot of little things, I will somehow lose something. Okay, so you put glue on 2 of them. You stack just like that. Super fast and easy. And then I can turn that over and I can put just a little dab of glue on the back there. And then I can just stack that right on top. Ta-da! And if there's glue squidging out on any of these, it's not that big of a deal because it's mostly just going to be on the back for dimension. But I do like having a little bit of glue, liquid glue on it, so I can really kind of move things around. Getting these adhered really easily. You know what? I've seen, was it Jennifer McGuire? I can't remember who. Someone did some like stacked die cuts like this, where it makes it look like it's floating, which is essentially what we're doing here. And I was like, that is the coolest look. I don't know that it's really gonna accentuate that look, what I'm doing with this one, just because it's kind of a smaller greeting, but okay. These are so little itty bitty. Got a little bit of glue squidging out right there. All right, one more little spot. Seems a shame to have all this beautiful stacking on the underside where you can't even see it. But that's okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's like making the O move. It's not completely adhered yet. Don't move. Oh, thanks for coming, Molly. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's do some dabs of glue. Then we just have to cut off the little bit of that frame slash swing, and we will be all done with tonight's card. Let that sit for a moment. You guys see how it's like sitting up a little bit? All right, I'll open the card and I can cut this. Oh, I didn't get that cut very well. There we go. Ta-da! All right. Took me an hour and 40 minutes, but not bad for like coloring it too. Love it. That turned out so cute. I love that. I'm going to do a quick little spiel for those watching the edited replay, which will go up tomorrow. And then I'll come back and we can just chat for a minute. I mean, I've gone a little bit later than I normally do, so I won't stick around too late, but yeah. Okay. So here is the finished card for tonight. You can kind of see how having it stacked up like that gives it a little dimension. I love how that turned out. It's very Hawaiian. I can't wait to take this to Hawaii and give a thank you card. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back very soon with another card video, and until then, thanks for watching. Okay. All right. Yes, simple design. I'm so glad. Was it Andrea? Oh, no, it was Amanda. Was it Amanda that said it looked like she's on a swing? Maybe it was Andrea. I can't remember. But whoever had the swing idea, brilliant. So cute. Love it. It turned out adorable. I love how that turned out. Was it? I've got to go back in the chat. Like, was it Andrea or was it Amanda? It was one of my mods. It may have been Amanda. I can't remember. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I probably missed them in the chat. Maybe I'll clean my stencil while we're sitting here because I do need to clean it. I'm not that worried about cleaning this stencil because I use C9 inks and they come off with water so easy. So I'm just going to place that down. I'm going to move my card away so I can spray it and not have it ruin anything. So this is just alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. Very carefully clean off the stencil because it's got a lot of little spots. In fact, I might just take it to my sink and just run it under water because I don't want to bend anything. And this towel is kind of grabbing things. But it is cleaning it off. And generally with Pixie Spray, you can use it a couple of times. And that also reminds me I need to order some more Pixie Spray. Mail call is a week from tomorrow. It will be on the 8th. All right, I'm gonna take this stencil. Let's see, I need to let it dry. So I'll just let it sit out. But here's the card for tonight. It's so cute. It was Amanda. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought it was Amanda. I knew it was on my mom's. Okay. And then look at the other stencil. Okay, so this is the one we used. So you're coloring in the centers of the leaves. And then over here, it's the background. But they don't, at least I don't think they line up. Do they? No, they're different. So you could layer them. Really cool. That would be a really cool effect, actually. Do I know a time for mail call yet? It's next Tuesday, probably in the afternoon. Let me look at my calendar right now. I haven't scheduled it, but yeah, it'll probably be at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, if you can get something in the mail, like probably by the latest Wednesday, I'll probably get it in time. Most of the time, that's good. Amrita, yes, we have a new OCC class that I think we will be announcing in about 2 weeks. Oh, thanks, Barb. All right, I've got like, let's see here. I kind of want to put the Aloha and the Mahalo in the same little envelope. No, I'll keep them separate, but I do need to find the envelope that this one was in. It like walked off. I don't know where it ended up. Oh, Andrew, good. I'm glad the time works out for you. That'll be great. Okay, and then these stencils have a storage pocket too. They like ran away. Okay, I have to tell you, I placed a huge order of Ellen Hutson stuff because she just has so much good like vacation, summertime things. I don't know when they came out, but yeah. So first of all, okay, this one, Inner Flamingo, adorable. Look how cute they are. And then it's like a stamp and die set. Then I got Beach Day. I mean, stop it. I mean, it's bunnies and mice and like a seagull and a, what is that? What is that? Oh, it's a mouse with sunglasses. Oh my word, like laying on the beach. Do you guys see this? She's adorable. Then there's like a little hedgehog. There's a crab. It's just too cute. And then I'm like, stop it. Girls just want to have sun. Come on. Adorable. Anything is popsicle. Kick back, relax. I love it. Okay, and then this one. I mean, I had to because I got the stencil. And then this one. There's like a sandcastle. There, it looks like all images with like an outline plus a solid so you can stamp on the inside. Love that. And then cute little whatever floats your flamingo. Squeeze the day. It's hammock time. Cereal chiller. Oh my word. Today's forecast, bright and sunny with a chance of flip-flops and sandcastles. Stop it. It's too cute. I love it. And then I also got this, which I thought was interesting. They are Color Me strips. And from what I gather, I haven't used them yet, but what I gather is you cut them out, but it has them on it. They're connected by a tab so that you can like color them different colors. And I loved it. Looks like it's like a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 inch, or maybe even a little bit more than an 1/8 inch. I'm not entirely sure, but I thought that looked great. Ellen is selling at Amazon exclusively, just the product line. She no longer has the store, but she is selling like her products. And they just had some new ones come out recently. I don't think I bought anything from the new release, but it has an Amazon storefront. And I wish I could find those storage pockets. They'll turn up. Actually, they just turned up just now. Ta-da! Okay, so I'll put my little stencils back in here. I need to get the strip dies from Ellen Hutson, but they're not listed in her Amazon shop right now. Like I have the sentiment strip. I have a couple of the stamp sets. Like I got one for Christmas, like Christmas cards and stuff, but I don't have the die that cuts everything out, which is kind of annoying. Okay. All right, I'm going to close up shop for the night. Those of you who are Supporter Plus members of my channel, I owe you a mail art for March. I have it planned out. I just have to do it. So watch for that in the next day or two. I'm getting hiccups again. Watch for that in the next day or two. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. And I will see you all in another video very soon. I'm the hiccups have got to stop. Have a good night, everyone.